Greetings, fellow friends and travelers who happen to stumble upon this video. I'm Natalia, a 14-year-old writer and the author of the ebook The Cat on the Bridge, which you can find in the description box below. To those first timers, welcome to the world I call Cerita. It is a place of words, stories, but most importantly, people. Because here, I talk to different people who share their experiences in the amazing world of words. And I believe that each person has their own story to tell because, after all, no two paths are exactly the same. One person's journey will definitely be very different from another person's. And so far, we've had many different speakers come from all across Malaysia to share about their unique stories, about their journey, and what we can learn from their lives and and what they've experienced. And actually, today, for this month's session, it will actually be a continuation from last month. So, to those who tuned in for the August episode, you'll know that we had the fantastic Gina come on board to share her experiences of writing in an unfamiliar language and just her process of publishing and to submitting her manuscript and her whole journey. And I mean, as the host, it was incredible to just listen to her tell her story. But if you thought it was over, then I'm afraid you're mistaken because Gina still has so much more to tell us, and I'm really, really excited to hear what she will say next. So I think I should probably stop babbling on and just invite her. So everyone, let's welcome Gina back on screen. Welcome back, Gina. How are you?
Good. Very excited to continue our conversation.
Yes, I'm also very excited. Uh yeah, I think you still leave me like mind blown from like last month's session because it was fantastic. I've learned so much just not just in the writing but also in the publishing area. And I think for today's session actually, I wanted to focus a little bit more on like your after writing episodes. So I think you mentioned um before that you actually did like mentoring after
Yes.
like writing. So like could you tell me like a little bit about that? Like what made you decide, to try out mentoring?
I because I already mentioned before that writing is a solo journey. So I used
Yeah.
to have one or two like okay, you are so young, but I'm just gonna re-explain it, right? So
Yeah,
back then
yes.
when internet first started, right, there's this thing called blogging lah. People actually type
Ah,
into blogs, right? So among blogging the blogging world, I was like one of the Malaysia's few active ones, and then there were a few other active ones. Then we thought like, hey, since we like to write, we should encourage each other to write a book. Okay. But after the few years that we were encouraging each other, then I was the first one who got published. Then the rest just didn't happen lah, you know. And then I started to find other friends that can write together with me for my second book so that I'm not so lonely, ma. But I couldn't find them. Like then after that I said, okay, fine. And by then I had like 4 books already. I actually have quite a
oh,
lot to share. So if I meet someone new, if I ask me a question, I actually can answer, and we are not starting from ground zero like together before. So we're
yeah.
starting like maybe I'm a bit like here, not like very far away, but at least I can tell you, hey, got word count one, got total
It's
word count, dude, that kind of stuff. So
yes.
yeah, I started writing with a few friends and all that, and after that I ran out of writing friends. So I thought, okay, let's go to the internet. Facebook just started, I think. And then I blasted out a Facebook post and said, "Hi guys, I just want to do I don't even know what to call it because I didn't thought of mentoring. I didn't study writing. I didn't thought I was qualified to mentor. So I just said something like a writing buddy. That was how I started mentoring. I asked who wanted a writing buddy and I offered to be a writing buddy. And then again I thought, nah, it's not gonna go anywhere. You're nobody really know you and stuff like that. It's not gonna draw a crowd. But within 24
Mm.
hours, I got like 100 over application, and I went, oh, serious
Wow.
man, this thing. How
Wait.
to how to do 100 over people, and that was when I realized that out there, a lot of people wanted to know more about writing, or they're writing something and they wanted to ask question, but there's no one to ask, or when they ask, it's like answers that are not applicable to Malaysians. Some questions, like I say,
Mm,
like it's not applicable. You can ask like J.K. Rowling, the answer she give you might not be applicable to where you are lah,
makes
in
sense.
Malaysia lah.
Yeah.
Okay. So out of the 100 over, I thought, okay lah, just choose 10 lah. How very ambitious, 10. And I started to form my own program, you see. I said, oh, buddies ma, must write once a month, yada, yada, yada. But having to just make sure 10 people gather together didn't work. Like they are strangers, we don't know each other, right? So it didn't work. So I started doing one-to-one. So every month I have
Mm,
10 writing appointments with 10 different writers at 10 different
wow.
locations. Yeah. And my deal with them is I say, you must be writing buddy for a year, not writing buddy 1, 2 months, bye-bye. Yeah. I don't think we can finish anything in 1, 2 months lah. Right?
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
said,
yeah.
okay, the idea is number one, you must be stuck with me for 1 year as a writing buddy. Uh, and number two, we must meet once a month, bare minimum requirement, at least 2 hours. Okay. So their first thought is, oh, Gina is going to sit down and just write. But then when I talked to them, I realized a lot of them has been thinking about writing a long time, or have been trying to write a long time. And then they thought that this would help them out. And then I figured sitting with a stranger like this doesn't help. So I said, okay, let's talk about it lah. Okay, tell me what you writing, what you plan to do. So I say we have the whole year in January. So we talk about what you want to achieve by December, and let's help each other achieve it. Along the way, any question, we help one another, that kind of thing. But eventually, it became a mentoring program, because I have 4 books they have done. So, like the question that I have, they also have, but the question that they have, I can answer. So it
Mm,
became a
yeah.
mentoring session lah. Yeah, so I started mentor very different types of writers. I think my youngest when they first wrote in that time was 13.
Wow,
So I said,
13.
oh, this fellow write proper English, huh? Not too bad. So I took on a 13.
For English.
My eldest was 75. I was like,
Oh, wow, wow. 25.
you still need me to teach Then you know how young I am or not? Like sometimes seniors, they don't learn from, they won't come and say, hello young one, please teach me, right? So I said, so I remember replying the email. I said, just to be clear, I'm young enough to be your daughter. So yeah, I started with 13, my youngest, and then my oldest was 75. And we
Wow.
have different journey, and I learned so much about writing by mentoring them, because it forces me to articulate. So you have people asking questions like, so actually how to write a story one? And then my answer be, just write lah. And then there's like, yeah, a lot of
This
people, you go workshop, they will tell you, just write lah. This how, Gina? Then I have to go back and think, okay, the 4 books I wrote, how did I write it? So that when I meet
Mm,
them, then I can explain to them, oh, actually I wrote like this, then like this, then like this. Then say, oh, then they kind of know. So by teaching, I'm learning, because I'm forced to
mm,
articulate
yeah.
what I know. Yeah.
Mm,
So
that makes
mentoring
sense.
started maybe about slightly what 2009, 2010. So it's been 10 years lah.
Wow, like a decade basically. Like
Yeah,
guiding other
yeah.
people, mentoring others. Crazy.
I
Wow.
have about 148 writers according to my folder here that I've mentored.
148. What? That's crazy. It's a lot. Yeah.
With 90% success lah. I do
Yeah,
have
no,
people who
that's
at the end
pretty
give up.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 90% in school grades is an A. So yeah, you did. I think I can tell you do pretty well in mentoring.
Yeah,
But
because I will
yeah,
have those that is like, oh, not yet complete one. The journey is like, why is it red color? Hiya, why haven't finished?
yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So just in case you're wondering the folders, right? It's because writing ma, so they send me every month the chapters I read. So there is lah. If next time you are here, there's Natalia Chong, then this is a story or something. So I have
Oh,
all their folders in my desktop. Yeah.
I see. No, I'm curious because like you said that your youngest like so far is like 13 around there, and then
Yeah.
like your oldest is like around 75. So I mean
Yeah.
obviously mentoring these two completely different ages on like different sides of the spectrum will there will be differences. So then like how you approach them then? Like, what are those differences in mentoring them?
So surprisingly, this mentoring thing, if they wanted to learn something about plots or how to write dialogues, I will tell them, here is the workshop, go attend. Like attend somebody else's workshop. I'm here to journey with you. I'm not here to teach you the technical parts of writing unless it can
Interesting.
be helped. Okay. So most of the time, my mentoring, I can always say what I do is I will sit down and say, what's your challenges? We tackle your challenges so that you complete your manuscript. Okay. So
I
the young
see.
one that I had was bright and smart like you lah. Okay. Right. She has no problem with grammar, no problem with poetic sentences, beautiful fantasy words she builds. I'm like, why on earth did you come? I don't know what to do with you. You know, like, then she said, actually, it's a very lonely journey. Maybe I just need someone to first tell me that my story is not that great. But I said, but it is great. Like I don't think I have anything to teach. So after that, I started to teach a lot more things, like for example, emotions. So it became a very teenage session lah, like her story is a little bit more predictable because if the car knocked the dog, then the person is sad. So I was, hey, let's explore. I mean, nothing wrong with sad, but let's explore something like anger or other emotions besides sad when your favorite dog died. And then she said, oh,
Mm.
I never think about it such way. Like, okay, then she will start thinking. I said, okay, think already. Then write in the story. Okay. So most of the time, that was what I did with her because she didn't have a writing problem per se. She just
Yeah.
had I'm bored of writing and no one is reading. Everyone telling me, great, I don't know how to go. That kind of.
Yeah, that's actually like a problem, actually, that not a lot of people see as a
Correct,
problem.
correct. But she happened to be I would say quite a genius lah. Because she's the kind of person, if I ask her to do research, she will research and then she'll tell me, textbook page 43 says this. Or when I ask a question, oh, it was in that book. So she was clearly a slightly different mind, a very
Mm,
photogenic memory. So she goes for debates and stuff like that, and she wins because she's just
wow.
this knowledge storer, which helps her to write very good because she reads a lot. So I was like, after 1 year, I told the mom, oh, no need lah, next year just go write yourself. And then the mom said, no lah, you help her out. She needs a friend. Okay. So she's also, you see, every writer is different. She's so smart that her friends are scared of her, so she don't friends.
I
Then no friends means
see.
nobody read your book. So end up, then I read law, then I give comment, then I become the friend lah, like you.
Mm,
So yeah, different challenges lah. Compared to
interesting.
the oldest one just retired. She write reports, like in her job she write reports. So she think, I can write a book now, And then I said, write report and write storybooks are very different. Like the language, the tone,
Yeah,
everything.
yes.
She said, I will write a family book. I said, okay, fine. Because I said, we can just sit down and write. But then she was stuck. Then she started giving excuses and stuff like that. And I went, not working. I said, the idea of being a writer is to write, not sit down in a cafe and say, oh, I think the coffee is nice. You used to be in cafes. And I'm the one typing. I don't know what you're doing. I say, I'm typing my own manuscript, but you are like daydreaming after two or three times. And then started to give me excuses. And then said my husband discouraged me, laughed at me and stuff like that. I said, so I remember one fine day, I said, okay, the next session we go your house, okay? Make sure your husband is there. I go meet husband. You know how you have meet the parents? I have meet the husbands. So I went and meet the husband. Then she introduced me. Oh, this is my writing mentor. Then husband look, hey, same age as our daughter, like laughing at me, yeah. And then after that, I just sat down. I said, hey, you go write lah. I go check with your husband. I said, hey, actually she writing ma. Then she said you did discourage her lah. Tell her write what lah, blah, blah, blah. So very discouraging. Like how my parents like didn't bother
Yeah,
supporting. His was worse. His was like, don't waste time writing lah, cannot earn money lah. You retire, I got money to feed you. The kind of very discouraging stuff. So I said,
I
your
see.
wife can find the desire to write, which is very hard to cultivate. If you're a writer, right? So self-discipline is very big. And then you have
Yes.
everyone around you telling you, don't write, don't write, don't write. Then the self-discipline will just disappear, you
Crap.
see.
Yeah.
So I told her like, hey, let's make a deal. So I made a deal with the husband. If she can finish writing, uh, then I'll come and see you again. and then we have buffet, like I buy you buffet. And the husband said,
Wow.
actually the husband is richer than me. I probably couldn't afford to bring him his kind of buffet. And I said, I just need you to, if you don't want to encourage, just don't discourage. If she says she's taking time off to write, don't kacau her halfway and say, yeah, right, what, right, lah. Type also, never share any type stuff also. Just be
Mm.
like, oh, you're writing, see you later, or something like that. So that started, and then he just thought I was kidding. He just didn't believe the wife could lah. Okay, so after 3-4 months, the wife said, my husband never kacau me. I said, good lah, right lah, right. My husband never kacau you, right. So she started writing, and she actually at the end of the day managed to finish her manuscript. So I'm like,
Wow.
so if you ask me, the weirdest mentoring I've done is like, yeah, meet the husband. Like,
I admire your dedication to go like really to that person's house and I meet the husband and talk to them.
yeah, I think also really inspired by the fact that I journeyed alone too many manuscripts already. That I
Yeah.
feel that if all you needed was that one tweak to unblock your journey, your writing journey, then
Mm.
I will go and try it lor. But it comes with a lot
Yeah.
of trust, you see, because these people are still strangers. So the first meeting is like,
Yeah.
oh, they're sussing me out and I'm sussing them out. Like, they're looking at me. This young fellow trying to tell me, wow, she never tell me she's so young one. Quite a lot of them are actually older than me. Yeah.
Mm.
So then they come. Then after that, I just share a bit lah. I said, oh, maybe you must share with me your vulnerable challenges. Cannot be shy, cannot be embarrassed. Otherwise, right, we go nowhere lah. And of course, you
Yeah.
take 2 or 3 meetings to warm up. Sometimes I tell them, hey, I don't feel like we're going anywhere. So if you're not willing to be open, then I cannot help you. Then might as well don't waste each other's time lah. But it takes a while. I have to tell them that I say easy what talk to a stranger easier than talking to a friend, right? You don't like me, just don't see me next month lah. So they were like, oh yeah, if I tell something Gina I don't like, then just delete her from my life. It's quite simple. I only meet you 3 times. So people
Yeah.
started to be more vulnerable lah.
Mm. Mm. Oh,
So I
but
ask you a question. What would be your
ah,
most biggest challenge? Your biggest challenge in writing?
oof, biggest challenge in writing. Ah, I guess it goes for like every writer, like the self-doubt, definitely. It's like you keep thinking, am I good enough for this? Is anyone actually gonna like it? Like we keep like worrying about about like what other people will think of your story, but you don't really think of like what you think of the story, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. That's what I face. Yeah. And I mean, I would say I am grateful to have people around me that help to push me and really pull me out of the pit of self-doubt, which is one of the reasons why I really admire why you started like this mentorship, because like I would say like because like you mentioned you didn't have that like the so-called support, and then but
Correct.
then you took that experience and then you made it like, okay, I didn't have that, but now I want to give it to like everyone else, like every other writer that is willing. So
Yeah.
like that it's really incredible, I would say. Definitely. Yeah.
But it's a
Mm.
win-win lah, even though they don't see it that way lah. Because the program is done free of charge. There's no charges.
Oh,
So you really want to disappear, you just disappear lah. You never pay me money, it's a free of charge program. But I have to say, I also learned a lot from them because I have to figure out how to solve their challenges. Like for example, you say I self-doubt, blah 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 blah, and then I'll be like, okay, who are you writing for? If you're writing for yourself, who bothers what other people think? If you're writing for other people, please don't care about what you think. Just write what other people want. Then they go like, you want in between, is it? So it's like a counseling session, but not. You get what I mean?
yeah,
Then
yeah.
after that, I said there's pros and cons one. So for example, if you really want to think about what other people think about your story, then you need to write it for them in the way that they like, that you might not like. Can you live with that? Cannot, then please change. Go back writing for yourself. So we have difficult conversations like this. That's why I said the person has to be vulnerable enough to share. Otherwise, you
Mm,
can't move forward lah. Yeah, and I have to go and find a way. How do I tell her without breaking her heart?
mm.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I see.
it's been interesting lah, interesting. I've really learned a lot from mentoring writers.
I see. I mean, like you're still mentoring like these days, right? So, like, I'm just
Yeah,
like curious,
slightly
like,
less. Just five people a year now. Cannot do 10 people at no time. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you're still mentoring like for like 10 decades, like 10 decades, like 10 years, 10 years, and wait, what keeps you motivated to just keep continuing in this? Like, why didn't you just like, okay, for 5 years you mentor, okay, I want to try something else now, I'm gonna stop mentoring. Like, why? What do you enjoy so much about it that makes you just want to keep like doing it over and over again?
I think enjoy it is one thing. People coming back without me. I did the shout out first year, second year, almost I never shout out already. The people just came, word of mouth. So I didn't even have to promote lah. But I find that it really helps me to sharpen my thinking. I have to think of
Mm.
10 ways to explain what is a plot. You might understand it like this. I tell you, why come she cannot understand one? Like cannot understand one. So I will go back and think. So
Ah,
if you ask me now, right, I can do a workshop very easily because I've already thought about 10 different ways to explain what a plot is. If you don't understand this way, then I try this way, then I try this way, I try this way. And these are the things that I like. Second thing that I like is puzzles. Like, yeah, I cannot write one lah. Nothing wrong with me, but I cannot write one. Hello, what's this mystery? Then I will go and kepo lah,
mm,
but yeah, I've been through a lot of different mentees, um, and some of them have won awards.
wow,
Because
really?
our journey is not just writing. Normally, I said,
Yeah.
because I'm already your friend, ma, you finish writing, then stop there. So I would say, okay, the whole year I've been reading your manuscript, we've been talking, writing, I know what your story is about. By the end, by the time you finish, I already have a few publisher in mind, I hook them up. Or I have writing competition in mind that I say, hey, I think 90% can win because it's a brief, then you send. So we actually go through that after writing process. So yes, I actually have 4 award winner on my list. And I'm not even an award.
Wow.
I'm not even an award winner, you know. I'm saying like, hey, you're all award winning there. This fella haven't win any award, you know. So yeah, it's just very different journey, and it just gives you a lot of hope.
It does. It does. Yeah, wow, wow.
Yeah,
Well, I am speechless right now.
yeah. So
It's amazing, really. Yeah, like it's like you inspire them, really. Like you give that small, you just like plant that small seed in them, and then it just you let it grow, you nurture it, and then like, poof, suddenly, okay, one gets an award, and then like, oh, three of you
yeah,
get an award, and then
and you kind of become friends for life in a way lah. You know, of course, after
yeah.
1 2 year we part ways. But I know that in the future, some of them after 5 years come back. Hey, yeah, Gina, I'm hitting some writing slump. Can you help me? Let's say, you okay? You know, so we become friends because we kind of understand our writing challenges. You know, and we just
Mm,
keep each other going. And then when we see each other publish or moving further, they be like, yay! Because we kind of know how it started. So it's a
yes,
very
yes.
different, yeah, it's a very different feeling altogether. And I've enjoyed it quite a lot because I've met very different writers. I've even met disabled writers, special needs writers.
Mm,
You know, those people that
very.
when I talk to them, they said, hey, we also special needs people don't care about us. And special needs write what lah, 100,000, what you think you can? So, but then when I met them, because I have a special needs brother, so like I remember one of my first batch was she has what you call that, I don't remember what you call it, the one that your bones don't move so well one. So she's a bit
Ah, okay,
slower in
okay.
movement and stuff like that, and
Right.
also talking lah. Okay, so when I met her, right, because I met so many special needs with my brother, my brother's friends are all special needs. So I met her, I treated her like a normal person. So I sat down. Oh, I didn't even like ask her why she's shaking or why her mouth was like that or why there was saliva or whatever. I was just talking to her like, oh, so what do you write? Yada yada, talk, 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 talk. And then I went home lah, first meeting, and then she texted me. For the first time, a human talked to me as if I am normal. Didn't like stare at my or
Mm,
didn't comment on my movement or my fidget or the whole time she talked to me, she was like this, right? But I didn't appear to be disturbed by that. So she said, I think can work this mentorship thing because you weren't flipped off by my disability lah in
mm,
that way.
mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we work on the book lor, finish writing everything again lah, when you are disabled, or special able, like your family will say, right, right, like you can't even dress yourself. You know, like why are you being so ambitious about writing a book when you can't even take care of yourself as well as normal people on a daily basis? So she finished her book. I
Mm.
said, let's submit for an award. Then she laughed. Then I said, nothing to lose, right? Then she submitted. And then she got on the finalist. Then I'm like, hey, time to go and collect the award. She said, I don't want to go. She never win one. After people laugh at me, I never win. But I said, finalist. Very good one, finalist. She didn't go, you know. She sent me to go on her behalf.
Really? I
So I also
see.
like, okay lah, I went lah, because we worked on the manuscript for about a year plus
Yeah.
already. So, and I asked her to submit anyway. So, okay lah, I go lah. So I went. Then I waited. Oh, third place, second place. Okay lah. Then after that, I told. Then she texts me. Every time she texts me, hey, did I win? Did I win? You know, the fifth place, was it me? No. Third, fourth place, no. I said third place. Then by second place, she asked me, is it me? I said, also no. Then she said, yeah, no hope already lah. Second place also didn't get right. Scarly announced the first place was her name. Then I said, hey, first place leh.
Whoa.
Then I said, why are you not here? Why am I collecting the award on your behalf? Like, why are you not here? You know, so those are moments that
Wow.
this is the fruits of the mentoring that I say, every time I say I'm too tired, I don't want to help another writer, and I find, I want to experience that again. That journeying and seeing someone achieving what they set out to achieve, or even what they didn't set out to achieve. You know, so now
Yeah.
this girl has published maybe 4 books, I think, 3 or 4 books.
Wow. 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 Amazing. Yes.
So
Seriously, I think you changed your life definitely. Like in
But
terms
but
of
I want to
like
say, right, it's
writing.
not big things. I'm not trying to blow my own horn here, but I'm saying a lot of this mentoring
Yeah.
thing is not even big things. So, for example, I
Yeah.
have writers who like just needed someone to sit next to them when they type. They cannot sit
Mm.
at home because it's noisy. Their family talk. They just want me, Gina. All you have to do is sit with me. I type. You don't say anything. Okay? You type. I type. You type. I type. 1 year later, Gina, I finished already. That's it. They didn't even talk about writing. Nothing. I was just the typing buddy. So having that accountability helps
Yeah.
someone. You know, the power of what you call making a pact lah. Yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
don't overthink it. Don't overthink your writing challenges. Yeah.
Yeah. But like, cause like a lot of people, when you think of mentorship, right? Like the first impression is like teaching, no? Like mentor is like a teacher. You teach me how to do this. You guide me through step A to Z. What do I have to do next? What to do next? But like sometimes mentorship is being a mentor is like what you said, like just sitting down with them, it's like complete silence, like just being there with them is like already making a change. So it's like there are like many different ways to go about with mentorship, and like a lot of
Correct.
people think it's a teaching way, but like really it's like it's so much more than just teaching, and I think you've really shown that brilliantly. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't have a syllabus. People always write in and say, hi, can I join your mentorship program? What's the syllabus? Then I'm like, what syllabus? I've been doing it for 10 years and everyone has different syllabus. So normally I will
Yeah.
reply, or the syllabus I will know when I sit down with you. So when I sit down, oh, these are my challenges. Then the syllabus is catered to your journey, you know.
Yeah.
There is no
Yes.
fixed syllabus. Yeah,
Because everyone is different, right? Yeah.
correct. And they are always surprised that I say, oh, this one, you want to learn how to write dialogues. I didn't go for workshop. Huh, you're not teaching? No, I not teaching lah, you go lah, you know. Unless you go to the workshop, we come back, we learn how to apply. Uh, stuff like
Mm.
that. So some of them go workshop few times, come back, still cannot. Then I said, okay, let's try something else then since it doesn't work. So there was this lady who was writing children book. But all her sentences were not childish enough, I call it. Like the children talk different from adults, right? So all her children talk
Yeah.
like adults. So I'm like, it's
Oh,
not
I see.
working. It's like it's just not working. It's a 6-year-old book, like those what you call that illustration book, right? Got picture and then 4 sentences, and your children is speaking like adult. Mom, can I please have an apple or something like that? I'm like, so she went back and changed 3 times, and it still didn't work, right? So one day I told her, okay, the next meeting, please wear your cap and everything. Then she said, what are we doing? I said, I don't know, meet me at the park. I said, okay, now we sit down at the playground, a lot of kids playing, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, that's just all we do today is just listen, okay? Listen to how this kid talk to the mother, listen to this, just listen to how kids talk to each other or whatever. I can listen and then go home. Then she said, that's it. She finished listening. Then I said, okay, now you can go home. Write again. She said, what? I said, I don't know. I think that is a solution lah. I said, the that's not orthodox solution. Okay, just go back and try. Gina, nothing has changed. I tell you, you never teach me anything. You asked me to sit at the playground. So she went back when she tried. Then when she came back, the sentence was slightly more childish. I said, it's working. You need to go and sit more at the playground. So some of this learning, like I
Yeah.
said, it's different. It's something that
Wow, wow.
workshops cannot teach you. It's not that
Mm,
I also know. You see, when you come with the problem, right? We've been facing the same problem 3 months. Then I also have to go and think, how do I teach this? How do I teach this? And after she successfully do it, then I know, okay, this method works. So if I meet another writer that has the same problem, hey, you please go and sit at the old folks home lah. Old folks home don't talk like this. The seniors don't talk like this. So that's how what I meant by the more you mentor, the more you learn because you're forced to out of your box. How do I explain this or how
yeah.
do I teach this? Yeah,
Yes. Very creative, really. Like the ways that you help them is I can see very creative. Like I don't think I've ever heard of someone uh like manage to solve a problem by like just sitting at a playground and listening to children speak. Like really like what we discussed in our previous episode, it's like the input, right? The input
correct.
and then the output. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Very
it's all
nice.
about that in writing lah.
Very true. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I think we are nearly coming to the end of this final session. But before we wrap up, do you have any final words or like tips or little encouragement for other writers or maybe other um people that just they have this aspiration to become a writer, but maybe like they are just afraid, like will this work out for me?
Okay, I think one thing I always tell all my mentees lah, friends lah now they are don't think, just write. Don't think. Don't think about whether it's as what maybe you go for a course about storytelling. Oh, you must have these 5 things, then it's called story. If you start thinking, then you paralyze, then you don't write. So I would say, don't think, just write because we are all born as storytellers. We actually have it in
Mm,
us to identify what the story is. It's like how we
yeah.
mentioned, right? I know the English sentence is correct. Don't ask me which is subject, which is predicate. I don't know. Okay, same thing. I think humans know how to tell a story lah. You don't need too much framework around it and you don't need to overthink it. Just write. At the end of the day, right, you should talk about writing and you don't write, then you're not a writer. Lor.
Nice, nice. Wow, wow. Thank you so much. And that makes a lot of sense actually, yeah. The just getting started, I feel definitely like at least starting is I think the hardest part if
Yes.
of the writer. Just starting. So like I mean I kind of think like once you get started and then like the rest will come in due time. Like not everything will be easy, but like it will just slowly like start coming. So
Yeah.
yeah, thank you for that incredible sharing, Gina. I personally think that you have a lot of courage, definitely, from your writing to how you got started, to your publishing, to your mentoring. I mean, writing in a language that um a different language that people is think is not really common for you specifically. I think it's one thing, but like actually guiding others and helping them to be something more than themselves is just wow. It's like a whole other level. So yeah, thank you so much for already taking your time to sit down and chat with me. Honestly speaking, I really had a blast during these sessions with you. It's been a great honor talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you. Thank you too. And yeah, to everyone who is watching, if you stayed till the end, then thank you so much. I really hope that you enjoyed these sessions. And if you are interested in watching the previous Cerita episodes, including the first part of Gina's interview, then I've included a playlist in the description below. So do check it out. And yeah, thank you everyone for coming. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.